Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name is Neal, and it is a pretty exciting day here today. We got some really cool guests we'll get to in just a minute, but the cooler guests are the ones always in the studio here with me. Matt, Jeff, and Ken.
Oh,
How are you?
very gracious
yeah.
of you.
The coolest
we're the
guests are
best.
the hosts you met along the way.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not really the coolest guest because it's always just a sauna in here. So
Not today. I'm freezing my ass off.
are you? You're cold today?
There are two people in beanies, and I wish I was in shorts, but
Okay.
that's how it goes.
Yeah, we should just have a shorts only policy.
Why?
I don't know. It's
So
always
then
hot in
we'd
here.
be
You're a
wearing
leg man.
something.
Only one of us would be happy.
Yeah, and how is everyone doing today? Okay.
Yeah. It's cold.
Yeah, it's cold
We've
outside,
gone
but it's
over
nice
this.
in here. So
Awesome. Well, great podcast content.
General chit chat.
Yeah, general chit chat.
weather, things. How are you?
It is.
Your book's out?
My book is finally officially out. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so it was out last week. So this is the first week of the
So
book
look
being
for it
out.
at the top of
So
the
that means
bestseller list.
I hope so. I mean, I'm hoping. I heard a lot of people pre-ordered it. I appreciate those who did, and I'm in the process of talking with the publisher about maybe one or two more opportunities because of all the people pre-ordering. So thank you for those of you that did, and if you haven't yet or you'd like to buy it, it's available everywhere. So go pick up a
That
copy.
means theoretically in the future I have received it.
I've already
and
read it.
have read it.
Probably.
Probably,
And
yeah.
it was great.
Oh,
If anyone would like
maybe.
a bootleg copy, just join us at patreon.com/triviality podcast, and I will do a TikTok for each single page
You'll be
of the book.
scanning the pages and distributing them like leaflets.
Well, speaking of that, actually, that's a great segue, Jeff. So patreon.com/triviality podcast is actually going to be the name of one of the teams performing today, Matt and Jeff. And we'll get to why in just a minute here. But we're
because
gonna
you should go there and give us money.
Well, that's true. We're almost at 500 patrons. We're super excited to say that. So thank you again to everyone who supports us on our road to 500. We'd love to introduce our guests, though. Our first guest is coming to us from Greensboro, North Carolina, and that is Alex Jacob. How are you, Alex?
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Doing
Awesome.
great.
Well, thank you for joining us. And tell the folks a little bit about yourself. We're excited to have you here, following you for a little bit here from some of the things you've done. So talk about them.
Cool, thanks. Well, I was on Jeopardy back in 2015. I was the Tournament of Champions winner, and I was on the All-Stars tournament that they had a couple years ago. And just launched this year a new Trivia League, and you can find out more about that at schooloftrivia.com. And that's the kind of the story of our team names today. It's going to be a plug versus plug battle. So
Incidentally, I'll be joining him on schooloftrivia.com.
Great team name.
Yeah.
Great team name. Yeah, we'll definitely have to check that out. And what's funny about we have the two websites here. We have, I guess, the plug-a-thon if you want. But Alex, at the first moment he came on, he said, whatever person wants to win should be on my team. So he threw down the gauntlet in a nice way, in a very polite way.
You're making me sound bad, but I prefaced it. I said, I'm not guaranteeing any kind of victory, but I was just, when we get to the end, and if we do win, I just want, I just want someone to feel it. I just want the stakes to be there.
Offer
It was a nice way of saying
to
it.
our diminished minds.
Yeah, and
And me
Ken,
and Jeff said, no thanks. We don't want that.
Ken said, I just need a good win. So Ken,
Matt and I are sick of winning.
Oh, so much winning over here.
So yeah, Ken, you'll be with Alex on schooloftrivia.com, and then Jeff and Matt will be on the team, patreon.com/triviality podcast. So plug-a-thon today, but we need a host in order to play the game. And
Incidentally, another Jeopardy
champ and awesome person. He's coming to us from Aurora, Colorado, Oakland 5 supporter on Patreon, Kyle Jones. How are you, Kyle?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you for having me.
We're so happy to have you here. We're complimenting your microphone setup. You got a little booth to block out the sound there. It looks pretty cool, I guess, from Star Wars or something. But yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. As you mentioned, my trivia pedigree, I guess I was on Jeopardy, won some games in 2018, and I was in the Tournament of Champions in 2019. I did not win, so I can't claim to be at the same level as the other guests today, but feel pretty good about that. And I also, since we're doing plugs, I also have a podcast. It is about Jeopardy. It's called Potent Podables. And you can find our episodes at potentpod.com. If you are not a big fan of the show Jeopardy, don't bother listening because we talk entirely about Jeopardy and you will probably be bored. But if you like Jeopardy, check it out.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say a lot of our listeners are big fans of Jeopardy, so I think you're good.
Yeah.
This is some very good targeted marketing.
Right? Yeah.
So we got our hosts, we got our teams. Let's toss it to the rules guy.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
Oh, doing his Alex Trebek impression today.
Only in questions too.
Very
The
strange.
rules read.
What
Kinda
is
strange.
the rules read?
Yeah, right.
What is the rules?
The existential rules read. All right, well, we have patreon.com/triviality podcast versus schooloftrivia.com, hosted by Potent Podables.
Do you a favor, Neal. We could just shorten that to Patreon versus School of Trivia.
.com.
We'll see. I might say the full thing every time.
All right, Kyle, let's kick it off.
All right, here we go. Question 1. Let's get tilted. Don Quixote is considered one of the first modern novels. It tells the story of an aging hidalgo who takes on the moniker Don Quixote de la Mancha after reading so many chivalric stories that he imagines himself to be a knight-errant. We get a number of terms and idioms from the novel, including quixotic and tilting at windmills. From a fictional story within the story, we also get what pejorative term? The name for a lecherous womanizer who seduces another man's wife.
You know it?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, we
can
lock
lock
in.
in, yeah.
Yeah.
Would that be a Casanova, Alex, or a libertine? One of those two? A Casanova, maybe?
The thing is, Casanova, I'm pretty sure was a real guy.
That's a real guy. No, a pretty bad guy too, as I've learned.
From a story.
Maybe we should
within a
stop saying that.
story. There's like Lothario. I thought that might have been from something
Lothario.
else, though.
That could be it. And it's pejorative too, so.
Right.
I think
Right.
Lothario is kind of
Yeah, is that the best we
pejorative.
have?
I think that's pretty
at
good.
the moment.
All right, let's go Lothario.
Yep, can't remember if that character is a Don Juan, but we said Lothario.
And points for both teams. That is Lothario.
Nice.
That's from a little like cautionary tale within the story. And Lothario actually, from what I understand, wasn't that bad a guy. His friend like badgered him into trying to seduce his wife. And then he was like, fine, I'll do it. And it worked.
My friends are always asking me to do that too.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Peer pressure. It's tough.
Yeah, it's
No, stop, please.
Stay
don't.
away from people.
The legend
And
of
I know.
yeah, it's a weird story. Did not go the way I thought it would. Anyway, nice job. Question 2. Pardon me, can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? Big Bird has been a staple on Sesame Street for decades, even though he is only 6.5 years old. His species has never been identified. He could be a canary, could be a lark. However, the costume uses feathers of what particular bird? While not typically yellow, it does belie Big Bird's North American origin, even though its name in French translates to Rooster of India.
And I think me and Jeff are locked in.
Okay, cool.
Crap, you guys locked in so fast.
So what birds? So his costume is, or I guess, kind of costume, kind of puppet mix, right?
I mean, there's a guy in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the arm is the neck.
So it was made out of real
Crazy.
feathers, which I just learned.
I would be
So
so
what do you think,
allergic to that.
a rooster
yeah.
of India? Would you say like a turkey or a?
Would you agree that there's probably some kind of North American in the name? Or-
Maybe not in the name, but just the bird is probably native to North America, which is why I was
Gotcha,
saying like maybe
gotcha.
turkey
You know,
or like it's probably not bald eagle feathers. I'm guessing.
I wanted my Canada Goose jacket to be vegan, so I had it stuffed with Big Bird.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, could it be like a Canada Goose?
It's possible. I mean, it is down, but
Goose
I don't know
feathers?
the goose feathers.
That would make sense, right? That's a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, we could try that. It is used for down, right? He does look pretty soft, so we'll say goose feathers.
Uh
We guessed turkey.
Yeah.
oh.
All right. Points are going to
Yeah.
patreon.com/podcast. It is turkey feathers.
Wow.
It is turkey feathers. And only something like 5 out of every 100 turkey feathers are good enough for Big Bird's costume.
Are you?
Oh, wow.
They went through a lot of turkeys.
Did they send out like Oscar the Grouch and
Surprised Big Bird isn't red.
Well,
from all
Elmo
the-
gets to pardon one, I think, every year.
and then he also executes the one who isn't pardoned, Elmo.
Me kill you. All right, question 3. She would have made room for Leo. Local Colorado hero Molly Brown is notable for many reasons. She was a socialite in Denver high society, wealthy through marriage and her own enterprise, and engaged in the advancement of women's rights and other social issues of the time. Her greatest claim to fame occurred in April 1912 on a return trip from visiting her daughter in Paris. Her bravery and level-headedness during the early hours of April 15th earned her what nickname?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
We
think
play too
it's
much together.
Unsinkable, right?
Yeah,
Unsinkable
the Unsinkable
Molly
Molly Brown. Yeah,
Where's I like
Kathy
call her
Bates in the
Yep,
movie.
unsinkable Kathy Bates. That's what I call her.
We 2 went unsinkable.
That is unsinkable Molly Brown. Nice job. Yeah, I grew up like 10 minutes from the Molly Brown house.
Wow.
Is it like a museum now, or?
Yeah, and like you can book events and stuff. It's not very big and
You have, like, a
really
frat
not
party?
terribly interesting. Yeah, that would fit.
Come
the vibe
check
real
out
well.
Lambda Chi at the
Yeah.
Unsinkable Molly Brown House, 9
Play some
p.m.
beer pong at the Unsinkable Molly Brown's house.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
All right. Question 4. Repeatedly cut gems. The Tavernier blue was mined in India and purchased by French merchant Jean-Baptiste Tavernier in 1666. It was cut and renamed the French blue, then sold to Louis XIV in 1668. It was stolen in 1791 and recut, reappearing in 1839 under a new name. What is this storied gem now called, which currently resides in the Smithsonian?
I think we can all agree it is not the diamond-encrusted Furby from Uncut Gems.
From Uncut Gems, no. Okay.
That's my guess. I think it's wrong, but
So you guys
Gotcha.
are locked?
Mm-hmm.
we're going to lock in.
I'm thinking maybe the Hope Diamond.
Yeah,
Is that what you were thinking? Because I think I've been to the Smithsonian, and I think
it definitely is blue. Yeah,
Think you've been to the
that
Smithsonian?
would make sense.
I was going to ask
I was
that.
young. I was young.
Oh,
I
you
was
just
like
like
in junior
happened
high.
upon it.
So you want to go with that Hope Diamond?
Yep,
All right, let's go
that's
with that.
probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We 2 went with Hope Diamond.
Well, hey, you guys weren't sure, but you are correct. It is the Hope Diamond. Nice job.
Yeah, if you ask me to name a special
jewel.
gem,
Yeah.
then I can only name one. So
Well, I'm glad I picked that one then. Up until like 4 months ago, I thought that the Hope Diamond and the Koh-i-Noor were the exact same thing. And then I found out they weren't.
I just learned that there's a thing that exists
there's
called
the
the
second
Koh-i-Noor.
thing.
Well, there you go. All right. Question 5. Whether or not. Ted Fujita of the University of Chicago, with Alan Pearson of the National Severe Storms Forecast Center, developed a scale to measure certain meteorological phenomena. The scale was introduced in 1971, updated in 1973, and enhanced in 2007.
Yeah. That seems like enough.
Or is it
I
the
think I
other
know
one?
it if we want to tell them.
Okay,
that
so
if we want to
Alex,
lock in.
yeah, that's fine. If Alex knows it, we'll lock in, and you guys can talk.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So they're locked in. You wrote down tornadoes.
Yeah, because Fujita, so I think it's like F 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I know it goes to 5, but it said up to 13, so maybe that
Well,
was
it was
the-
originally 13 is what he said.
Oh. Yeah. That makes sense. I'm good with tornado
Or how are hurricanes measured?
by names. So like Sally is the worst one.
No, but they have like tropical storms.
No, I
like-
don't-
I
They're
think
like-
that's wrong.
They have like tropical storms, tropical depressions, and then up. Do they also use the F scale?
possibly, but I'm good with tornado if you want to lock in with that.
The hurricane scale for Matt is just names of ex-girlfriends. That's what it sounds like.
And how much they destroyed his life?
Well, we're gonna leave it at that, and we're gonna say tornadoes.
Well, actually, it's tornadoes. Yeah.
Yes, it is tornadoes. Yeah,
All
nice
right.
job. Points all around.
Well, it's pretty good first 5 for each team here. Only one miss on question 2, but schooloftrivia.com with 40 points at the end of the first 5. Patreon.com/Triviality Podcast with a perfect 50, all featuring wonderful questions from potentpod.com. So thanks, Kyle.
Thanks. No problem. All right. Question 6. Rocky Mountain High. What numerical term is used for the group of North American peaks, mostly in the Rocky Mountains, that are considered the most difficult and most prestigious to summit? Colorado is home to the most, and I've done a few myself.
Well, that's very impressive, Kyle, that you've done a few of these. Do we get bonus
Thanks.
points for me saying that?
You do. Yeah, actually, I didn't mention that, but you do get 2 bonuses. Yeah. Last one I tried to do, I did not make it to the top.
Kyle, what kind of sycophant would you like us to be?
Nobody compliments my hair. Can you compliment my hair?
It's very epic.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
It's just
All right,
sweeping and.
Thank you. 5 extra points for.
Oh, very
Patron.
nice. Jeff, do you have any ideas? You like math? Do a math.
I like math and maps, and this is somehow the Venn diagram of this is 2 separate circles for me. So,
After discussing nothing, I wrote a word down, and we are locking it in.
All right, there you go. Any bright ideas here? Because I'm blank.
Gotcha. I do have something in my brain. It's one of those that I may know, or maybe like just on the edge, like partly right, but something like 14ers, I think, like referring to them being 14,000 feet. That number may not be the right number, but that is
good.
what I have in my head, and I can't shake it. So I guess we'll go with that.
Sounds good.
Well, they went with a number, and we went with an idea, and we locked in with a tangent.
which occurs a lot on Triviality.
Yeah, apparently.
That's fair. Yeah, points to School of Trivia. It is 14ers.
Wow.
Those peaks are over 14,000 feet.
Sounds like a gang of freshmen who like chase you.
All right. Question 7. Where'd you go? The French city of Lourdes has a few claims to fame. Of particular importance to Catholics was the occurrence of Marian apparitions to a young girl at a nearby grotto in early 1858. Water from that site is said to have healing properties. The girl went on to a life of religious service and was eventually sainted, with her feast day being April 16th, the day of her death. Which saint was this?
I think we can lock in again if you want to.
Oh,
if
man.
that helps.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I don't. It's like I'm pretty sure about it. I don't want to cut off discussion for no reason, but if it helps things.
Yeah, so if they're locked in, then I can say some things out
You can
loud.
freely say that you know nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
That's true.
So we're looking at a Catholic name. It's French. So we got nothing.
No, I mean it's not.
Saint Patricia.
Joan of Arc went the other
Patrick's
way.
cousin?
I was pretty sure they didn't like her.
Yeah.
A little earlier.
Yeah, a lot earlier, but
Casimir Pulaski.
That's the one.
also deceased and Polish, but
And man.
and a dude,
And not a saint.
not a saint.
So checks all the boxes. I don't know. Saint Mary of France town.
We'll just say
Lourdes.
We'll just say
Lourdes.
All right. What do you have?
I have. I think her name was Bernadette.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Like they made movies have been on. Sorry.
Yep. Nope. That is correct. That is Saint Bernadette of Lourdes.
I believe in French it's Bernadette, though.
Isn't it that great song from like the 60s, Bernadette?
I knew you were going to go that, and I was going to make a 4 tops jokes from the 14 tops question earlier, but I chose not to, Neal.
You
And
should have,
saved
because
it.
I was going to say that also hailing from the French city of Lourdes are songs that always get slowed down in movie trailers. So
I did have a clue. There is also a novel called Where'd You Go, Bernadette?
that's what it is. That's the Kate Blanchett movie. That's what I was thinking.
Right.
Yeah.
And also a movie. Based on
Right.
it. Yes. All right. Question 8. Forever collecting. We trivia folks have lots of fun words for studies and collecting. Vexillology is the study of flags, and numismatics is collecting coins and other monies. What do philatelists collect? For example, they would be on the lookout for penny blacks and inverted jennies.
I think you know for sure.
Mhm.
And I think
Sure.
I know. So we'll lock in.
Oh, I think you might be right. We'll go with that.
Good.
We are going to lock in an answer. Yeah.
Okay. Is it stamps, Alex?
Yeah, for sure. I think Penny Black is maybe the oldest stamp, and Inverted Jenny is this famous mistake stamp where they printed the plane upside down. So yeah, and philatelist for sure. Stamps.
Yeah, I was pretty sure about Penny Black, so we also said stamps.
.com. Since it's all about plugs, right?
All about plugs, yes. Yeah, nice job. That is correct. Philately is the collecting of stamps. And Alex gave all the flavor text for that. So, yep, that's exactly correct.
Also, I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's better when it's not just me saying things.
Also, Terrence Stamp is the star of the movie The Collector. So that brings it full
Nice.
circle.
Right, there you go.
All right. Question 9. Oh, mommy. In French cuisine, the mother sauces, or grandes sauces, are a group of sauces upon which many others are based. While there are discrepancies depending on the text or person you consult, we will go with the 1907 English edition of Auguste Escoffier's Le Guide Culinaire, or A Guide to Modern Cookery. According to that book, there are 5 mother sauces for 2 points each. Name all 5.
Oh boy.
I need to learn these.
Yeah.
It looks like Alex. being a trivia man, looks like he's got these memorized. I believe it's Tabasco, melted butter.
Hot.
Melted butter. I mean,
Ranch.
ranch.
So that's the Midwest sauces. Mayonnaise.
Pizza sauce.
If it was
and
me,
mayonnaise.
it would be like ranch, garlic butter,
Jardinera.
Jardinera.
Jeff, how many do you have?
I think I probably have the same 2 you have.
Dang it. We're not getting anywhere.
We could just add those 3 to that. I think 2 of them might be right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those are like things. We're locked in.
Okay, they're locked in. So where are we starting off, Alex? Here.
Okay. I should actually know these because I had one of my quizzes was kind of inspired by and one of my schooloftrivia.com. Get another plug-in. Quizzes was inspired by the mother sauces, but I'm afraid I might miss one of them or 2.
That's okay.
But do you have anything, or should I just
No,
read off what I
you
have?
start, and I'll make up some ones to round off the list. How about that?
Okay. So I'm pretty sure there's one called like tomat, which is basically like a tomato sauce.
Okay.
There's a velouté, which is kind of like a creamy thing. There's espagnole, which is like a brown sauce.
Mm-hmm.
And the last 2, I think one of them, I'm going to say hollandaise, which, we know the yellow sauce on like Eggs Benedict and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one, I'm not sure, but the best thing I have right now is béarnaise.
Okay.
But it's kind of similar to hollandaise. I'm not sure if they would both be in there.
I'm gonna just say a word that I don't know if it's a word, but like bechamel.
Yeah,
Is that a
no,
thing?
that is a thing. I think that actually might be right instead of béarnaise. Let's switch béarnaise out for bechamel.
Okay.
That's a good call, actually. I think that could be right. So let's go with those 5 with bechamel in there.
It's funny you went with bechamel because that's a melted butter sauce, which you were talking about earlier.
We ended up going with hollandaise. Hopefully that's right. We went with béarnaise because we had nothing else. We went with roux, which I think is actually a type of sauce, which isn't.
It's like a base for a sauce. Yeah.
But we had nothing else, and then we went with the old classics, the marinara and Alfredo.
Okay. So schooloftrivia.com with that last minute pull of bechamel is getting all 10 points.
Oh,
you got all
man.
5. Sauce tomates.
That is awesome.
And I helped.
That was just
that was some shake and bake right there.
I was just proud to be in the room when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool.
Yeah,
we got
very,
2
very
points
nice.
for trying.
Yeah.
You got 4. Oh no, you got 2. That was
Nah,
very
we
nice.
got 2.
Never mind. You got 2.
We got the
2
one
points.
that was on my breakfast this morning and nothing else.
Nice. So sauce tomate is just tomato sauce. Velouté means velvety in French. Espagnole is a brown sauce. Bechamel is a roux, so more specific than just roux. And then hollandaise. Nice job.
Nice.
All right. Question 10. Team on a mission. The one and only time that my Rockies made it to the World Series was 2007 on the strength of an unlikely end to the season. Before they could make it to the divisional series, though, they had to win a do-or-die wildcard tie-breaking game 163. The game will forever live in baseball mythos with the question, did Matt Holliday actually touch home? Yes, he did. Which team, a divisional rival whose ace pitcher Jake Peavy won the Cy Young that year, but lost that game, thinks they were robbed in extra innings?
I think I know which team he was on, so we can lock in with an answer.
The views of Kyle are not necessarily representative of the views of Triviality Podcast. I'm just kidding.
I'll never root for Matt Holliday doing anything. 'Cause he's a Cardinal in my book.
Well, I know nothing about this.
He was not a Cardinal yet. Believe me, I was also upset he went to the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I'm a Cubs fan. Don't worry.
But he said divisional.
Yeah, no, I think I know, actually.
Okay.
I'm kind of vaguely aware of sports. I'm not a big watcher, but I kind of know some of the names. And I think Jake Peavy was on the San Diego Padres. I want to say. That would be in the same division as the Rockies, right? NL West or whatever?
Probably.
Yeah, so let's go with that. I think that's right.
Yeah, last question. We had the Mamas. Now we got the Papas. I think it's the Padres.
It is the San Diego Padres.
Nice. If you asked me to name every baseball team, that's the last one I would name.
Really?
Yeah.
They come up in trivia a lot because they're notoriously bad at winning. Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
One of my favorite players ever on the Padres, though, even though they could never win, Tony Gwynn.
Tony Gwynn.
Yeah. Well, after after the first round here in the game, I just wanted to kind of give a little plug for Type A, Type B, Type C, Type D, Type E, Type F, all types of plugs, just to join in on the fun. But it looks like after the first round, patreon.com/Triviality Podcasts picked up 22 points in the second half, bringing their total to 72. And it seems after Alex heard that he missed a question in the first round, said, not on my watch, as Ken and Alex at schooloftrivia.com were batting perfect there, picking up 50 points.
I helped too.
I said with you, bringing their total to 90 points. So 90 to 72.
A little bit.
Well, if people listening at home, they just don't know that your nickname is Bechamel.
That's right.
Kenny Bechamel.
Because I'm smooth like that.
That was the villain in Smurfs, right?
Yeah, that's right. Kyle, what do you have in store for the contestants today in the swing round?
All right. So our swing round is musical instruments by family. I'm a high school instrumental music teacher, so
I like that.
I like to do this. All right. I will give you
some of our favorite people.
Nice. Me too. I will give you 10 musical instruments from around the world. For 5 points apiece, you simply tell me which of the 4 orchestral music instrument families each one belongs to. Those families are brass, woodwind, string, and percussion. So here we go. Number 1, balalaika. Number 2, shakuhachi. Number 3, slenthum. Number 4, afuche. Number 5, bombard. Number 6, shofar. Number 7, tabla. Number 8, oud. Number 9, ophicleide. And number 10, hurdy-gurdy.
I take it back. And we will be thinking about these, and we'll be right back.
Okay, after the swing round, it looks like everyone's answers are locked in. Just wanted to say thank you to Kyle for teaching music, as all of us here in the studio had inspiring music teachers at different points of our lives.
For many of us, the same music teacher.
For many of us, the same one. That is correct. So thank you for doing what you do, Kyle, and let's go down these questions one more time and get the answers.
Sure thing. So you were going to give me whether each instrument was a brass, woodwind, string, or percussion. Number 1 was balalaika.
All right, I'll start it off for School of Trivia. I believe this is a string instrument, and this is probably the one we were most confident on. And then the confidence dropped off pretty fast after that. So,
yeah, I believe this is similar to the guitar, but Russian, and we said stringed instrument.
That is correct. It is stringed. It has 3 strings, and you actually play one of the strings with your thumb. I learned how to play balalaika in grad school. It is an interesting instrument. Number 2, the shakuhachi.
Not too sure about this one. We said percussion.
Funny enough, we too said percussion.
The shakuhachi is a woodwind instrument. It is a flute that Ronin played. When samurai lost their swords, they pick up shakuhachis so they would no longer be violent.
I should try that when I'm feeling stressed.
Yeah, it's very zen. Sorry, number 3, the slenthum.
This one we just guessed wood.
Yeah, we guessed woodwinds.
This one is a percussion instrument. It is a metallophone with like bars set across the top. It's part of the Indonesian gamelan. Number 4, a fuche.
We said wood again. You might notice this for all the ones that we had no clue. We just said woodwind. So.
Weirdly, we too said woodwinds.
The afuche is possibly more commonly called a kabasa. It is a percussion instrument. It's like the kind of instrument. Number 5, the bombard.
Wood.
We guessed brass.
School of Trivia is getting points. It is a double reed woodwind instrument.
We knew it all along.
From the Renaissance, because you love Renaissance Breton music, right?
And double reeded instruments. Ken's like,
Nice.
Who could stop at the oboe and the bassoon?
No, I need more. Number 6, the shofar.
Okay, well, I guess I'm going to be really embarrassed if we get this wrong because I'm familiar with this as being raised Jewish. It's something, it's like a horn, it's like an animal's horn, but we thought maybe it was brass because we don't think it has a reed in it, so we went brass.
We guessed strings.
The shofar is the animal's horn, and that is considered a brass instrument.
Wow.
Doesn't have to be made of brass. It's the way it's played. If you buzz your lips, it's a brass instrument.
Buzz and
Number
blow.
7.
I play the
That's
guitar really poorly.
right. Hopefully not with your lips. Number 7, the tabla.
This one I had heard of, and I'm pretty sure it's like it's a drum of some kind, maybe of Indian origin. We went percussion.
Sounds good. We said brass.
Okay, it is the drum of Indian origin, typically played alongside a sitar in traditional South Indian music. Number 8, the oud. O-U-D for listeners.
Right. This one we had no idea, so we guessed oudwind.
Nice. This is not our ode to joy. We said percussion.
The oud is a string instrument. It is the predecessor of the lute, and it is still commonly played in the Middle East in traditional Arabic music.
Who would have thought?
Oh.
These are puns that are much better than ours.
Yeah.
Number 9, the ophiclide.
Again, we didn't really know, so we had a game plan here, and we went woodwind again.
We did too.
The ophiclide is an old brass instrument from the 19th century that nobody plays anymore because the tuba was invented.
That was an
Good to know.
upgrade from something else.
You believe me, people tried a lot of things to figure out how to get deep sounds, and most of them were bad. And the tuba sounds great.
Okay.
Yeah. In comparison, you should check out serpents and ophiclides. Number 10, the hurdy-gurdy. Lots of discussion on this one.
Yeah.
Yes, we went back and forth between us on this one, and we both were kind of picturing this instrument with a crank, and so it's going to be my fault if we get this wrong. We ended up going with percussion.
Since the dying screams of helpless children aren't a group, we said strings.
All right. So the hurdy-gurdy, specifically, is a string instrument. It has a set of strings
I'm sorry.
stretched over a wheel that you crank. You do crank the wheel, and the spinning wheel, then you press each string down, and it makes the sound. Sometimes hurdy-gurdy is used to refer to a barrel organ, like an organ grinder.
Mm-hmm.
But even that would be closest to a woodwind instrument because it blows air through.
Mm-hmm.
So, but technically it is a string instrument. That's what I was going for.
We bookended that one with some correct answers. And the rest we won't talk about.
Okay, after the swing round, it looks like patreon.com/Triviality Podcast picked up 10 points, bringing their total to 82.
Terrible team, but good team name.
Good team name. And schooloftrivia.com picking up 20 points, bringing their total to 110.
Yeah, the points are terrible, but the perks are great.
All right, here we go. Round 2. Question 1. Everybody wave. Visible light ranges from red to violet. Invisible light includes infrared and ultraviolet. Beyond these, in either direction on the electromagnetic spectrum, are, for 5 points each, which types of radiation? Neither are especially safe for human exposure, but they are commonly used.
Yeah, we can lock in.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, so we're looking for something that bookends the visible light spectrum and then is above infrared. So I think above infrared is probably X-ray, and it's also commonly used. And then on the or microwave, because as you go up, the waves get tighter, right?
Sure. I mean, those two answers sound like answers that fit the clue. At least I'm not.
All right, let's go with
100% sure if they're
microwave and X-ray.
Yeah, believe you're right. So after ultraviolet, I believe would be X-rays as the distance between the two waves shrinks. Microwaves, I guess that screen in there is just big enough that they can't escape. So I believe microwaves are actually a longer wavelength than you'd think, and that's what we guessed.
All right, 10 points for both teams, X-ray and microwave.
All right.
Jeff's explanation was exactly correct.
Oh, don't do that to him. His head's big enough.
All right, question 2, a good omen. The religion Thelema was founded by arguably the most famous occultist of the 20th century. He was known for drawing ire from the general public and members of secret societies for his extravagant lifestyle and claims to have communed with demons and old gods. His Thelemic writings, like the Book of the Law and Liber Arcanorum, have influenced writers, occultists, and counterculture artists ever since. Fans of the show Supernatural are certainly familiar with his name. Who was this self-described prophet?
Dean, Sam, Winchester. I think it's.
Put down whatever you think, and that's what we're going to go with.
Okay.
I think the name I have in my head is an older name. And I think that might match kind of like the clues, about demons and this kind of stuff. But is Aleister Crowley? Yeah, the name in my head is Aleister Crowley. I haven't seen Supernatural. I'm not sure, so
Same
I can't
here.
cross check it.
It definitely sounds like a name that they could have used. So let's go with that.
They have probably a better answer. I had nothing and was just thinking about Supernatural. The last name was Winchester, so we just went with Winchester.
All right, School of Trivia gets points. It is Aleister Crowley.
It's the last time I skip a biographics video.
Yeah. The category A Good Omen also was to point you toward the name Crowley as well from Good Omens.
I also believe that Crowley was the inspiration for Ozzy Osbourne's song "Mr. Crowley." Aleister Crowley.
It absolutely was. Yeah, he crops up a lot if you're looking for his name. All right.
What's the reference to Supernatural?
There's a character named Crowley.
Yeah,
who's kind of an evil dude.
All right. Question 3. Yeah, you better run. Of the 10 longest rivers or river systems in the world, only 2 are entirely contained within one country. Those 2 also happen to be in the same country. Which country is it? To clarify, all of the other top 10 rivers pass through multiple countries at some point in their run.
Yeah, I have a good guess. Matt agrees. We're going to lock in.
All right, geography, not my strong. One of my not strong suits of many. Did you have any initial guesses? I was thinking maybe China, maybe USA.
Yeah. So as far as I think it might not be those, just because I'm trying to think.
Oh, it very well might not be those.
Sure. But so the big rivers in China, it's not the biggest country. I feel like they probably pass through other countries. I want to say like the Yangtze and the Yellow River.
Well, I'm leaving the call for you, so you make
leaving it up to me. Yeah, it's definitely it's a good question. It feels like something I should know. I was thinking maybe Russia. It's the biggest country, or possibly Canada is also one of the biggest.
I
But I
can't
don't know
name
if they would
any
be able to
rivers
get.
in either of those countries, but they are big
Yeah.
countries, so I would.
The Volga
I would
is the
trust
big
you.
one in Russia, and I think might be fully contained, but
So
I'm
that's
not
one.
certain. Canada, I guess, would probably be. I know the longest is the Mackenzie, and then I think the Yukon, and those are probably both fully in Canada, but I'm not sure if they would both be in the top 10. Probably not.
Well, you can make the call.
I guess I would probably go with Russia. Like, say it's just such a big country, and then like the Volga's probably in there, and then
The
maybe
odds
there's
are-
one
the
other
odds are
one,
good.
like the
Yeah.
Rostov or something.
Okay.
I
We'll
don't
go
know.
with Russia then.
Yeah, I was looking up river systems the other day. I was pretty sure that the Volga was a longer one that I hadn't really thought about. So we just locked in Russia. Don't
I
know if
was
it's
looking
right.
up river systems the other day.
As one does. It is not Russia. Alex actually named both of the
China?
rivers. It is China. The Yangtze and the Yellow
It
are
is.
both entirely contained
Oh,
within China.
sorry.
After he said it, I had a guess. That he
Yeah,
was onto it.
My guess is not confident one, so
Oops.
it's all good.
The Volga is number 18 in terms of length, and the Lena is number 11, both of which are entirely within Russia, but they are not in the top 10. Okay. Is that the first one that both teams missed? That might
I
be it.
believe so, yeah.
Wow. All right. Question 4. 0 to Hip Hop Hero. Clive Campbell, a Jamaican-American music legend, is often credited with the creation of hip-hop. Campbell spun funk and soul records during his 1973 Back to School Jam, which is considered the first hip-hop event. Clive Campbell isn't a great hip-hop name, though. What stage name did he go by?
I buy that.
Okay, we're locked in.
I'm wondering if it's maybe one of the Run DMC guys.
Yeah, I don't really know. The name in my head that's somehow related to the origin of hip hop is Africa Bambaataa, but I have no
That's
idea.
a
if
good guess. That's a good
related
guess.
to this or not.
Let's go with that. That's a good guess.
I was thinking back to old hip hop, and a lot of names like Slick Rick, Sugar Hill Gang, and those kind of guys came to mind. But we ended up going with Grandmaster Flash.
Those are both good guesses. Grandmaster Flash became much more commercially successful, but this is DJ Kool Herc.
My favorite.
Yeah.
No.
Really?
Oh no.
That's the name of Hercules when he went and played clubs.
That's right. That's right.
He's actually got his own line of NFTs now. Actually,
Who doesn't?
Kevin
No, just
Sorbo.
kidding. Just kidding.
That wouldn't surprise me. All right. Question 5. No clue here, just a plug to get vaccinated. Jonas Salk's 1955 polio vaccine was extremely important. It was the first step in eradicating a debilitating childhood illness. However, the Salk vaccine was only really used in the US. Outside the US, another polio vaccine was equally successful. In fact, by 1961, when it became commercially produced, the Salk vaccine stopped being used. Who created this other, more easily distributed polio vaccine?
Are you suggesting we go with a Lucky Johnson?
Yeah, I think so. Dr. Johnson.
First name Tap, last name Johnson.
Of Johnson and Johnson.
Yeah, we're locked in with a Lucky Johnson, I
All
guess.
right. Are we going with a Lucky Johnson, or you have an idea, Alex?
No, I think the guy's name is it's definitely Saban. I think it's Albert Saban.
Isn't
But,
that the Power Rangers guy?
That's Hans Saban.
I'll take your word for it.
No, I thought he was the coach from Alabama.
All right, we're going with Saban.
Yeah.
All right. Points to School of Trivia. It is Albert Sabin. The Sabin vaccine is distributed orally, which made it much easier to transport and administer than the injected one from Salk.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I thought they were all oral. No.
Let's get the sad scores for
The
us.
sad scores. Well, the insults for the Alabama football team when they're practicing are also administered orally by Mr. Saban. So it looks like team patreon.com/triviality podcast picked up 10 points, bringing their total to 92. And schooloftrivia.com picked up 30 points, bringing their total to 140.
All right, question 6. Maybe he owed more than he thought. I don't know that I have ever felt personally victimized by a month, but it seems that T.S. Eliot did. His poem The Wasteland begins with the claim that which month is the cruelest. My students likely agree what with all the standardized testing.
We're locked in.
Yeah, I believe we are as well, Matt.
Cruelest month. The cruelest month.
Has this come up recently?
It's possibly my favorite Simpsons joke ever.
Oh.
Are we agreed this is the 4th month of the year, April?
Yeah,
April.
it's coming around. April is the cruelest month.
April is indeed the cruelest month. Nice job.
Unless you're looking to buy a book from Neal Fisher, in which
Yeah.
case it's the best month.
There you go.
Hopefully. Well, I guess we're
You would
past
have
that.
you would have just April 26th
Yeah.
was your chance to buy it on release day, but guess what? There's still copies.
It's
I
only
think.
available for 4 days. April 26th to April 30th.
Limited run.
Yeah.
Neal is the cruelest author.
Nice. All right. Question 7. Kind of like Ricky Bobby. There are 2 actors who have won back-to-back Academy Awards for Best Actor. One is Tom Hanks for Philadelphia and Forrest Gump. The other won 56 years prior for his roles of Manuel Fidelo and Edward Flanagan. Who was that Golden Age star?
Neal.
Oh, I'm not playing. I can't help
Do you know this one, though?
you. I do know.
Of course you know that one.
We can lock in.
And they can lock in.
And we're locking in.
It's Clark Gable.
Clark Gable's an old name.
It is an old name.
What would he have won for? Movies?
Well, wasn't 39 the year of release for Humphrey Bogart, right? Casablanca, that was about that time. Clark Gable did Gone with the Wind.
Yeah. And then probably another movie.
Was he in Mutiny on the Bounty as well?
Oh, I don't know.
Am I thinking of someone else?
I don't know.
Shall we go Clark Gable?
Let's go with, Clark Gable.
Alrighty.
Yeah, so I think I'd have to turn in my Oscar nerd card if I got this wrong. But so I knew straight away with the back-to-back Oscars that it was Spencer Tracy. But the roles, I think, so Edward Flanagan is Father Flanagan from Boys Town. So he was the creator of the Boys Town that for the group for
It's like
edit this part out or whatever.
right?
Help. Yeah, exactly. I lost my word in the train of thought there.
Orphaned young men.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what the other movie is. I think it might be called Captain's Courageous, but that doesn't matter. The answer is Spencer Tracy.
Yep, the answer is Spencer Tracy. Those are the roles. Those are the films.
Nice.
Nice job, Alex. That was 1937 and 1938. So, okay, question 8. Awkward. Michael Jackson was involved in the production of a number of video games throughout his life. This includes the unfinished MMORPG Planet Michael from 2011 and playing the role of Space Michael in Space Channel 5 and Space Channel 5 Part 2. However, his first collaboration was the production of a 1990 game based on his film Moonwalker. This beat-em-up game has players, somewhat ironically at this point, rescuing small children from Mr. Big and his henchmen. Which console was Moonwalker made for, showing off its fancy 16-bit sound capabilities developed by Yamaha and Texas Instruments?
Does it have blast processing?
I played this game constantly. I still have it at my house.
Did you really?
I played it all the time. I beat it a lot, and I played at the arcade.
He was playing the portable one earlier.
Because the best thing about it was, like, when he would fight, he wouldn't punch or anything. He would spin, he'd go, hee hee, and then, like, a little stuff would come out and disarm people.
Oh, that's disturbing.
I have
Yes.
I have never met anyone who has actually encountered this game in the wild.
I still have it.
So you're
Yeah,
locked
that's
in?
crazy.
Yeah, we're locked in.
I'm thinking based on the 16-bit, I would say Sega Genesis. Does that sound right? Is 90 too early for
Is
that?
90?
Or is that about right?
I believe 90 is too early for that. I'm not a big video game guy.
I had a Sega when I was pretty young, and it probably beat the Super Nintendo to the market. So I would say
Okay,
Sega Genesis.
I go with you on this one.
100% sure. I think he was actually working on the music for Sonic at the time, and they ended up not using or using a different version of it. But this is almost 100% Sega Genesis.
It is the Sega Genesis, yeah. beat the Super Nintendo to the 16-bit market. And yes, thank you, Matt. Michael Jackson also supposedly worked on the music for Sonic the Hedgehog 3, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And for those unfamiliar, so Moonwalker was a game. It was based on a movie that I used to watch all the time. And Mr. Big was played by Joe Pesci.
Oh my god.
And so in it, he saves these kids from like a cavern or whatever. And at the end of the movie, to fight Joe Pesci and his army, he turns into a gigantic robot, like a transformer.
Okay.
So
Makes sense.
A classic.
yeah.
There are rabbit holes upon rabbit holes.
Why do you have to turn into a giant robot to defeat Joe Pesci?
That's a good question.
I mean, a little kid did it literally several years later.
Yeah.
Are you shaming those kids for not being able to fend off Joe Pesci?
No.
Not everyone can be Macaulay Culkin.
That's true.
Question 9. Check out the size of those brooches. A recently departed public figure, born Marie Yana Korbalova in Prague, earned the nickname Madame Cojones for her comments about Cuban military pilots shooting down civilian aircraft in international waters. Who was this important woman who admittedly has some more notable aspects to her resume?
I think we're good, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thanks to NPR. I'm up on the current news, so we're going to say Albright, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Confirmed.
We too went with former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright.
Yeah, and she wore
Yeah.
brooches to like send political messages to the people she was meeting with, I guess, which is pretty passive aggressive, but
It's
cool.
also the best use of a brooch I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is correct. It is Madeleine Albright, recently departed. All right, and question 10, legal name changes. A recent upset occurred in international soccer when Italy, the reigning European League champions, were knocked out of the upcoming World Cup by a national team that everyone had considered to be underdogs. The people of that country chose to alter its name in 2019. This came after a years-long dispute with a neighbor over the historical boundaries of an ancient kingdom and which nation gets to claim that one guy who I guess was pretty good. What is the new name of that country?
Believe it or not, I know this from the soccer angle.
Really?
Yeah, I saw a little clip of it.
Yeah.
You guys locked in, though?
Yeah.
It's North Macedonia now, right?
Yes, that would be the name of it now, right? Yes.
Yeah, used to be the former Yugoslavian Republic of North Macedonia, but we said North Macedonia.
It is the Republic of North Macedonia. Yeah, Greece didn't like that they called themselves Macedonia.
Because they have a region called Macedonia, which
Yeah.
matters a whole lot.
Big month for upsets. March Madness
Yeah,
and
really.
whatever.
Well, looks like at the end of regulation here, team patreon.com/triviality podcast picked up 40 points, bringing their total to 132. And schooloftrivia.com was batting perfect that second half of the second round there, picking up 50 points, bringing their total to 190.
Ooh. Ooh.
That's a lot of points.
That's points. There's points there.
All right. Our final categories are S words, things you shouldn't put in your mouth, the pen is mightier, states that end in Hampshire, and celebrity Jeopardy.
Okay, all the wagers are locked in, so let's go to Kyle for the questions.
All right, here we go. Question 1. S words. In the Summer Olympics, there are currently 2 weapons that begin with the letter S that are used for events. Name both of those 2 S words. Just to be clear, shot put is not considered a weapon
Depends on how you use it.
in that context. Question 2. Things you shouldn't put in your mouth. Leave it to children to ruin all of our fun. Since 1975, the sale of tiny species of what animal as a pet has been banned in the United States. The CDC says that this is because they present a higher risk of transmitting salmonella to humans. They are linked to a series of outbreaks from children putting the pets in their mouth. The animals themselves were probably fine, given their biological defenses and ability to hold their breath for long periods of time. Question 3. The pen is mightier. Abraham Lincoln had some good one-liners. For the people, by the people, a house divided, and so on. Another quote, which may be apocryphal, was said in 1862 upon meeting a well-known author. The president reportedly said, "So this is the little lady who made this big war." Which author was he meeting? Question 4. States that end in Hampshire. New Hampshire has some notable firsts. It is home to the first presidential primary of every election season. It was home to the first Attorney General of the United States, Samuel Shelburne. It was the first state to declare independence from England. It is also home to a couple of astronautical firsts. One was Christa McAuliffe from Concord, who was the first private citizen in spaceflight. She died on the Challenger shuttle, tragically. Who is the other astronaut, a spaceflight veteran from Derry, New Hampshire? And question 5, Celebrity Jeopardy. Celebrity Jeopardy has had its share of gaffes and embarrassing moments for the contestants. Who can forget Regis Philbin forgetting nearly everything, or Charles Barkley bravely asking the existential question, "What is cats?" On the other hand, some celebs fared very well, including Game of Death star and I guess pro athlete Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. However, the winningest celebrity was What Funny Man, who won $68,000 in the 2009 Celebrity Invitational. I don't remember which charity he played for, but it might have been to help his late-night host friend get his career back on track.
All right, we have the questions. We will come up with the answers, and we'll be right back.
It looks like both teams are locked in with their answers, so we're going to go back to Kyle for the questions one more time and see how they did.
Question 1, S-words. There are currently 2 weapons that begin with the letter S used for events in the Summer Olympics. Name both of those 2 S-words.
All right, we did bet 30 points for each of these. For the first one, we said saber pretty quickly, and the second one came a little slower. We think skeet shooting is a event, so we said shotgun.
We said saber for the fencing and shotgun for the shooting.
How many points?
We wagered 30. No, 25.
And both teams are correct. It is saber and shotgun. Nice job. Question 2. Things you shouldn't put in your mouth. Since 1975, the sale of the tiny species of what animal as a pet has been banned in the United States. The CDC says that this is because they present a higher risk of transmitting salmonella to humans. They are linked to a series of outbreaks from children putting the pets in their mouths, and the animals were probably fine given their biological defenses and ability to hold their breaths for a long period of time.
I was pretty sure that turtles are notorious for carrying salmonella, and a lot of the other clues also locked in, so we said turtles.
We locked in for 25 points, and we said sea monkeys.
And that is tiny turtles.
Tiny, tiny turtles.
Turtles under 4 inches in shell size are banned in the United States.
Who would have thought?
I like
'Cause
turtles.
Kids shove them in their mouths.
So
You remember
dumb.
the turtle clip? Turtle.
All right, question 3. The pen is mightier. Abraham Lincoln had some good one-liners, but the one I'm asking about from 1862 is, "So this is the little lady who made this big war." Which author was he meeting?
Okay, we're pretty sure he was meeting Harriet Beecher Stowe, author of Uncle Tom's Cabin.
We wagered 30 on this one, and I'm glad we did. We too said Harriet Beecher Stowe.
And that is correct. The little lady who got everyone riled up about the horrors of slavery. Question 4. States that end in Hampshire. New Hampshire has some notable firsts, but the one I'm asking about is an astronautical first. Who is that spaceflight veteran from Derry, New Hampshire?
This one presented quite a challenge. There's a lot of hints in that about other figures, but we just kind of had to pick a pioneer in spaceflight, and we ended up going with Shepard, right?
Alan Shepard, yeah, we were thinking is probably Neil Armstrong, John Glenn, or Alan Shepard. Those are the 3 guys I could think of that had a major first. As far as astronauts, we were placing Neil Armstrong in the Ohio Midwest area, and we know John Glenn represented Ohio in Congress, so we ended up, by process of elimination, we went with Alan Shepard.
For much of those same reasons, we wagered 25 and also said Shepard.
I'm glad you guys worked that out. That is Alan Shepard. Yeah. I thought about putting in a more specific clue, but you didn't need it. So nice. And question 5, Celebrity Jeopardy. Who was the winningest celebrity on Celebrity Jeopardy? What funny man who won $68,000 in the 2009 Celebrity Invitational? And he might have been trying to help his late night host friend get his career back on track.
Well, kind of like I said about the Oscars before, I think I have to turn in my Jeopardy nerd card if I didn't know this one. But this is Andy Richter, a friend of Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, we wagered 25, and he was definitely controlling the universe, I believe, on his appearance here. And we said Andy Richter.
And Andy Richter is also correct.
Great scores there in the final round. It looks like patreon.com/Triviality Podcast just couldn't do enough, but they did pick up an additional 80 points, bringing their total to 212.
Usually that's enough.
Usually it is enough, but schooloftrivia.com,
Too many points.
30 points on all the questions, all correct, bringing them 150 bonus points, bringing their total to a whopping 340 points, making them today's cream of the crop.
The cream of the crop.
Nice. All right.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta say,
Does your back hurt, sir?
No, yeah, hey, it was a total team effort. You were right there. In fact, we could have done a little better if I had listened to you on Big Bird's Feathers and maybe a couple other ones.
I'm gonna say
my gut.
I'm gonna
works.
say winning by 120 plus. I don't know if you needed those extra
Yeah,
few.
you're fine without the extra 10 points.
I gotta say it does not feel bad though to do pretty well and lose. You know, we stood our ground. You know, I don't mind losing to the likes of Ken or people who, you know, maybe won Tournament of Champions on Jeopardy.
I think our biggest mistake was not petitioning to end the game after 5 questions. It's really what we should have done there.
We have a new format. If we get 5 for 5 in the beginning, we just flex out. We're like, all right, total it up. Let's go.
Well, whoever was ahead.
Yes. Well, thank you very much, Alex, for spending some time with us today. We were happy to continually plug schooloftrivia.com, but any last statements, plugs, shout outs, anything you'd like to say?
No, I'll just say if you're still listening, you're probably pretty much the target audience for School of Trivia. Just Monday through Friday, five themed questions to your email inbox, and we're getting a lot of good feedback. All knowledge levels are welcome. Don't be intimidated because we got different skill divisions, and you don't have to go up against the cream of the crop, as you guys say. So, this is fun time. Check it out. Appreciate it. And thank you guys for having me.
The top level
You're welcome.
is
Thank
champion, and then the bottom level is dunce. So you can enter the dunce level.
I think actually if we join, they'll have to add a level below that called Triviality.
Below dunce.
Well, yes, thank you very much for joining us today. We appreciate it. And a huge thank you to Kyle for just some wonderful questions. We were talking during one of the breaks when the guys weren't here that we both have an affinity for long-winded questions because there's a lot of fun clues in there. So I appreciated all of those, and you did a wonderful job today. But any shout-out statements, anything from you?
Sure. Just first off, thank you for having me. It was a blast. Check out Potent Podables. That's www.potentpod.com if you are a fan of Jeopardy. And just for everyone out there, support your local teachers. They are doing hard work coming out of a lot of remote teaching and problems with the pandemic. And chances are, if you have a problem with the school system or something like that, it's not a problem with the teachers who are treating your kids well. So support your teachers.
Well said. Well said. It looks like that's going to be it for us today. We appreciate all of you listening, all of our patrons, everyone who comments on our social media. You can follow us at Triviality Pod. But for today, thank you very much to Matt, Ken, Jeff, Kyle, myself, Neal. I'm not going to say myself one more time, but Alex.
Thank you, Neal.
Thank you. Yeah. And Alex, thank you so much again and for helping make this the plug-a-thon to end all plug-a-thons. That was Triviality.
Buy Neal's book.
Whatever you want, then we'll lock it.
It's a rare food one, I know.
I think those are Italian.
You're Italian. Leave me alone.
These are like some 14ers type burns in the studio. Well, you're Italian. Leave me alone.
I know you are, but what am I?